another YouTube video, everybody. It's time for another edition of Weird Stuff That I Made. And I'm so excited. I have to sit slightly off center in this chair, by the way, because there's sun, see? And if I creep over either way, the sun gets on my body. And because I'm a vampire, obviously, that can't happen. So I just have to sit in this weird position so that my face doesn't disappear into the sunlight. But anyways, it's been a little while, you guys. If you've been on my channel for a bit, you may have seen this before. I made this as part of my birthday dress for 2020. But number one, I know that some of you haven't been around that long. And number two, if you were, even if you saw it in the original video, I didn't really get to talk about it in detail. And like, this is fucking cool. So I'm going to talk about it in detail now. If you want to see this with the whole outfit, go watch my birthday dress video for 2020. And I know I've screwed up on some of the dates before, but I actually know that this birthday dress was 2020 because that's when the fucking apocalypse happened. And I decided that since the world was upside down, that I always wear black, obviously, that maybe I should wear white for a change and make a birthday dress in white. So I decided to make some weird white post-apocalyptic kind of dress out of mostly back braces and curtains, in case you're interested. But I also had a couple of gas masks, and I decided to make this. Is this not awesome? I fucking love this thing. So this is a purse, believe it or not. So this was a real gas mask. So many of you know that I go out to the Aberfoyle antique market a lot. In the summertime, it's open usually between like May and October kind of thing. And they have some really cool shit out there. And that's where I get a lot of my weird stuff around my house. A lot of the like weird stuff that I own. Oh, sorry. Weird stuff that I own. Videos have been made with stuff that I've got at Aberfoyle. And also a lot of the weird like clothing and shit that I create. I think I got this hat out there. Like, you know, goggles. I definitely got these goggles out there. But they do have a military booth as well. And this was a real over the head gas mask. So it has a zipper in the top. I don't know if you can see. Right there, it has a zipper in the top, which I can undo. And if I undo it, the gas mask opens up and is a purse inside. So this was actually pretty difficult to make, but you don't need a machine to do it, which is exciting. So if any of you out there want to give this a stab, it's entirely hand sewing and bullshit, basically. So I got a gas mask. This is an adult size, full over the head gas mask. Obviously. It did have an opening in the back here. This was the original, like, where you pull it over your head part. So this was one of the kind of green. These also sometimes come in other colors, but you can see, like, the original, that weird kind of green kind of color. That's the original color that it was. So basically, I just picked up an adult gas mask, and the first thing I did was decide where, like, how it was going to hang and where the zipper was going to go. So obviously, because of this big canister thing, that's the heaviest part, so it wanted to hang basically straight down. So I thought, okay, well, if it hangs straight down, then obviously we have to put the zipper, like, directly over the top of the head. So this is a vintage zipper. It's an ugly, weird beige color. I kind of love it. It was in my zipper tub, but it probably came out of a vintage dress at some point that I had to take apart. So I just cut a piece of fabric to fill in the back of the head area, right there. So I just sort of cut a round circle of fabric that was like, I think it was like white or beige canvas, hand stitched it on. Stitching on gas mask, by the way, you probably don't want to use regular thread because it just snaps. It doesn't like it. So, because you're stitching through rubber, and this was never meant to be stitched through. So, I ended up using a bladed leather needle and some thicker thread. If you're weird and punk rock, like One Arm Bob, you're probably sewing with dental floss. If you're me, you're probably sewing with either heavy duty industrial thread, autopsy thread, waxed leather thread, or a combination of all three, which is exactly what I did. And there was also some gluing involved. So I just got some weird, these are old doilies. Sorry, the sun's creeping in and being weird here, guys. I'm sorry. But I got some old doilies from Aberfoyle, also from like thrift stores. So these are doilies, pieces of lace, old pieces of wedding dresses. Those are just some strips there that I grommeted, these guys here. But you can get pre-made grommet tape at the fabric store if you want to. And then I just made some tabs. I got some heavy duty clips. These are just heavy duty clips from the hardware store. local hardware store. The handle I made, these are actually coyote vertebrae. We have a local bone supplier in Toronto. They go by Skull Store or Prehistoria. You can look them up on Instagram. They're fucking amazing. Ben, he's a good guy. Anytime I need anything fucking weird, I message Ben and he's always got my back. If you guys watch the TV show of What We Do in the Shadows, they supplied a lot of the like taxidermy and oddities for that. It's actually one of the world's biggest oddity suppliers, and also it's run by like a legit fucking cool weirdo guy. They do a show called Bones and Burlesque that I go to sometimes in Toronto where they just showcase oddities and girls taking their tops off. And one of the girls I saw like lit her pasties on fire and there was just like flaming titty tassels and it was amazing. It was totally amazing. So anyways, go support Skull Store and Prehistoria if you ever need anything fucking weird. If you need a bunch of coyote vertebrae, Ben's the guy to talk to. So anyways, I went to Toronto, picked up these coyote vertebrae, and I just got some chain. I just got some chain from like the local craft store. I don't know if you can see in between. See, there's chain in between there. Yes, chain. I'm sorry, the lighting is fucking weird in here. But anyway, so I just literally strung these on chain, and then I jump ringed the chain. I jump ring the chain to the clips here. So this is coyote vertebrae, like I said, and the little guys in between are actually snake vertebrae. So I just made like a combination because the coyote vertebrae are really chunky on their own. So I just kind of like randomized it. Coyote vertebrae, snake vertebrae, coyote vertebrae, some snake vertebrae. Not the same all the way. There's like 2 or 3 pieces in between each one, and made this cool bone handle, which is actually surprisingly comfortable to hold on to. Like you'd think this would be awkward when you hold it and hurt your hand, but it's really not. It's really not. This actually worked out really well. And then this stuff is obviously glued down here. So I glued some lace onto the canister because you can't sew. Like that's metal. You can't sew. This lace here is also glued. This lace here around there is also glued. But the rest of it, everything else on here is hand stitched. So, and we got some wedding dress appliques and like all sorts of really cool stuff. So I'm going to lay this out on the table so you can see it better because the sunlight is being fucking weird in this video. I'm sorry. But yeah, my Gasmask purse. And I carry this around quite a lot. I'm thinking about making a version in black, actually. I think that'd be cool, although I don't know that it would read the same. Hang on, let's see it up close. All right, so I laid it out on the tombstone here for some extra goth points to show it to you up close. But this is, so this is glued. Like I said, that's a zipper there. That's glued. That's glued. That's glued. And then everything else, oh, also that's glued. But everything else past that is hand sewn on. So you can see, let me get really up close here. You can see just like hand stitching throughout this. And this is part of the back. See this piece here that's trimmed in the loop trim? That's actually the back that I filled in. And then there's some like wedding dress appliques. There's the zipper. So that's the vintage dress zipper I was talking about. And that unzips for you to get into the purse. Look at all the hand stitching on the inside. It isn't beautiful, but it sure does the trick. And stitching through rubber, like I said, is a bitch. So if you're going to do this, leave yourself some time to be frustrated because it takes a little while. Flip it over so you can see the other side. Okay, so this is the other side with the corset lacing. So I just laced some ribbon through there, kind of over the eye, because I thought that was kind of cool. These are doilies on the back. These are the heavy clips that I talked about. And then more wedding dress appliques. Anyway, is that not one of the most interesting purses you've ever seen? Because I certainly have never seen a Gasmask handbag before. So anyway, there you have it. The making of this super fucked up, super cool Gasmask purse. I get a ton of compliments when I take this out in public. People are like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a Gasmask purse. And they're like, what do you mean it's a Gasmask purse? I'm like, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a purse made out of a gas mask and a bunch of old doilies and pieces of wedding dresses. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe it give you a little bit of instruction, a little bit of inspiration to go try something fucking weird like this on your own. Should I make a black version? Let me know in the comments. That would be really interesting. I'd probably carry the black one more than I would the red one. Also, I prefer crossbody straps. So maybe I'll make a black one on like a fucking really long strap so I can wear it across my torso. That'd be cool. Woo, now I'm getting all creative and fun. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would be amazing. If you want to follow me on any of the things, we're going to put them all below. I have all of them now. If you want to buy me a Ko-fi, you can. It's kofi.com/madamabsinthe. And maybe tell me about a creative project you've been working on lately. Tell me about something that you've been working on that you think is really, really neat. Because, you know, creativity is what makes the world go round. And I would love to hear what you guys out there are working on in your creative lives. And I think that's it. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, buy me a Ko-fi if you want to. Tell me what you thought of this and whether or not I should make a black version. And say it with me, guys. I'll see you around for the next edition of Weird Stuff That I Made. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.